tattoo over tattoo over tattoo.
ये एक ही चीज़ है जो मरने के बाद अपन साथ में लेके जाने वाले हैं.
A dot can tell your whole story, but a dot can just be a dot for somebody.
I was 18 years old. I still remember I got a blue color rose on my leg.
Narrowed down on a Grim Reaper because these are the old rock and roll days. That time, there were not a lot of people with tattoos, and even for me, how I got into tattooing was looking at a friend's tattoo when I was 18.
मैं 17 की थी जब मैंने फर्स्ट टैटू मेरा बनाया. वो एक्चुअली मेरा नाम ही था तेजस्वी.
Mumbai has something called as a Bandra Fair in September, and that's where I got my first tattoo. I was, I think, 11 years old. I paid about 10 rupees for it.
Well, I started tattooing in 2004 in my first year of college, but I got my first tattoo in 2014, December.
वो मेरे ऊपर अभी 114 है.
Now I'm gone way beyond counting. Or I can say I'm a canvas now, like a whole soul canvas, a canvas in process. No, not at all. Until unless you are happy with it and you know what you are getting and you feel like you should get it, it's fine. You should go for it.
It's good to have a tattoo that means something to you because it's an extension of your personality. But it's not a necessary thing.
मीनिंग ऑब्वियसली रहना चाहिए और मैं हमेशा यही सजेस्ट करती हूँ कि टैटू हमेशा आपके लाइफ से रिलेटेड ही चाहिए.
No. I don't come from a mindset where every tattoo must have deep meaning.
If you go to see, there are a lot of beautiful pieces of art which are beautiful, but you may not relate to it. Similarly, a lot of people end up getting beautiful pieces of art onto your body, and they may not mean anything to them, but it's absolutely okay.
People were very orthodox.
At that time, it was not in fashion, definitely not in fashion. We saw a lot of shippies adorn tattoos.
They were associated with, like, the drug addicts, or like more on the rebel kind of people, or the hippie kind of a crowd.
For a long time, it was seen as expressions of the outlaws, those who don't fit in the society.
You talk about the older generation, like the parents and you can say your relatives, they did have a bit of an apprehension when it came to tattoos.
My father, I remember he had like a full psychotic episode and he was so angry and so furious at me, and it was an ugly situation.
We would be looked down upon by a different generation, but the same generation or a younger generation would just, wow, this guy's got tattoos.
Anyone with a tattoo was looked down upon during job interviews in like multinational companies.
Tattoos back then was perceived not as an art form.
The things were not that creative.
Ability to explore art wasn't as great at that time.
Due to which you didn't see really various kinds of artwork, but the traditional artwork of old school stuff like the roses, the skulls, the armbands, the barbed wires.
Back then in the early 2000s, there were just about 3-4 tattoo studios who were running professionally across the country. There were no place to learn. YouTube was not there. We taught ourselves how to tattoo. Tattoos are not new to India. Probably India is the country with the most diverse tattoo tradition in the world. Traditional tattooing were practiced across the country, from Himachal to Kerala, from Arunachal to Gujarat, from Gond to the Nagas, Todas, Rabaris, it's all over India.
मेरी जो दादी थी, जब मैंने फर्स्ट मेरा टैटू बनाया था तब उसने मुझे बोला था कि उनके ज़माने में टैटू बनाना कंपलसरी था. ये माना जाता था कि ये टैटू मतलब स्वर्ग में जाने की एंट्री है.
Christians in Mumbai or Catholics in Mumbai would get a small cross tattoo on the top of their thumb.
It took me by surprise because I was already tattooing for 3.5 years and I never knew that India has such rich tattoo tradition.
We have come a super long way actually.
From absolutely not accepting it today to seeing like families come down to get tattooed.
Teenage kids are coming with their parents now, and the parents wants to get involved, and they are seeing it as it's an opportunity to bond with their child.
Where people are stopped on the streets and asked like, oh, where did you get this tattoo from? What's the concept? Can you give me that number? So the acceptance is grown quite a bit.
So we are heading towards a place in time where more and more people are not scared to express.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today Newsmo.